Welcome back to the Mystical Luna channel for episode 2 of revisiting Bond, this time for 1963's From Russia with Love, one of the very best Cold War themed Bond films. Before the behind-the-scenes information, I want to say thank you to everyone who's commented and enjoyed Dr. No Revisited last week, as I worked very hard on producing it for the last 6 months. Our director and James Bond remain the same as Dr. No, being Terrence Young, circled in red, and Sean Connery, circled in black. John Barry begins to start composing for the Bond franchise, with From Russia with Love being the first of 11 Bond films scored by the maestro. This would sadly be the last film of Pedro Armendáriz, who was in great pain with terminal neck cancer reportedly to provide his family financial resources, and he would give one great performance, easily one of my top Bond allies of the entire franchise. Now let's look back on This video contains spoilers on 1963's From Russia with Love. Continue if you dare. We start at Spectre Island with James Bond. However, we see Red Grant played by a birthday alumni of mine, Robert Shaw. Red Grant plays with his fiber-wired watch, which Bond would also play with in On Her Majesty's Secret Service. Wait, Bond is dead. Well, that's the film over, with time for the conclusion then. No, it isn't as then. It's revealed by Morzeny, Walter Gotell, later cast as General Gogol on the latter half of Moore's Bond tenure.
What? The submarine Potemkin disappeared without trace? What a catastrophe, Comrade Sham. Yes, of course, I'll assign our best agent immediately.
That this is all just a training exercise.
Exactly 1 minute 52 seconds. That's excellent.
Then on to our title sequence, which contains the first and introducing for Daniela Bianchi. Now at a Grandmasters Championship in Venice, Kronstein, aka Spectre Agent Number 5, is called by Blofeld for a meeting. While at this meeting, we get introduced to Rosa Klebb, who I would call the main antagonist of From Russia with Love, as Red Grant, for me, is more of a henchman, and we learn the plot of Spectre is to fool the British for a Lecter device. Skipping a bit to now, Bond is finally introduced almost 18 minutes in. And look at the putter, it's the sadly recently passed on Michael Culver. Culver would make another uncredited appearance 2 years later in 1965's Thunderball. Along with finally seeing Bond, we also see one-time recurring Bond girl, Sylvia Trench, played by Eunice Gayson, after appearing back in Dr. No. We arrive back at MI6 with the first appearance of Q, played by Desmond Llewellyn, replacing Peter Burton, who played Major Boothroyd in Dr. No. Now in Istanbul, with Bond being informed about the Lecter Bond is graded by one of Kareem's sons, however is watched by Red Grant.
Welcome to Istanbul.
Well, thank you for sending the car.
Now at the half-hour mark,
tie you in with me.
we get introduced to Kara, who after rewatches carries a friendly warmth to him, explaining his key workers are his sons.
We don't make it too difficult to keep a tab on each other.
So I gathered from your chauffeur. He's a rather intelligent young man, by the way.
He should be. He's my son. Coffee?
Medium sweet.
2 medium sweet. He also is my son. All of my key employees are my sons. Blood is the best security in this business.
Now cutting a bit forward is the Gypsy Campfire, which features a future Bond regular, the first appearance of Barry's 007 theme. Now assassinating Krelingsu, Kareem says,
She has a lovely mouth, that Anita.
Little coincidence that 2 years later, Anita's then husband Rick Van Nutter would be Felix Leiter in Thunderball. Cutting a bit forward, with help from Carol and Tanya, Bond secures the Lecter.
Here, take this. It's only tear gas.
I thought it was for tomorrow, but today is the 13th, isn't
It's a
it?
hell of a time to be superstitious. Come on.
And now it's time for the very best train sequence in any Bond film, the Orient Express. However, Red Grant is also on the Orient Express. Once in Belgrade, I loved Ted Moore's cinematography, especially with Barry's score while Bond walks to one of Kareem's sons to inform him of Kareem's death and to get M to send someone, eventually Agent Nash, to meet him at Zagreb. In Zagreb, Grant meets up with Nash before Bond does, and then assumes his identity to complete his mission. Now this is easily one of the greatest fights in any Bond film. I know I said I enjoyed the physical fighting in Dr. No, but this is on another level. Now this has certainly got some North by Northwest feels about it.
Bond
Now
here.
cutting to the ending
Just
in
to we're off in a
Venice,
few
like
minutes, and I want to thank
where
you
our
for
story
everything.
began,
And signal the office when on our way back,
post-title
will you?
sequence with
What was
Cleb,
that?
dressed up as a hotel maid
Here,
as a
leave that.
last resort
I'll
to
take it.
obtain the Lecter for Spectre.
Oh, no.
And before we
Should be
go to
routine
my
from here on in.
conclusion, I have
So many
vivid
times.
memories of a history class many moons ago where my teacher said something about Cleb, regardless to say, I believe I was the only one in my class who got the reference.
Why? Don't! Gosh! Gosh, me! Don't!
Although there's plenty I haven't spoken about, especially most pre-planning before obtaining the Lecter, From Russia with Love is a Bond film that words can't explain how great it is, with some Hitchcock influence felt, and the mysterious Blofeld, or as mentioned, number 1, 1963's From Russia with Love is a perfect Cold War espionage film. More on 1963's From Russia, with love in my pinned comment from my recent Letterboxd review. And next up,
and smile for a moment, but oh, you haunted me so. Still my tongue tied, young pride would not let my love for you show. In case
remember, peace and love signing off for now.